Well, caught me off guard, but here I am. My name is Rob Actis. I live in Gilbert, Arizona. I have a beautiful wife, Nikki, and my daughter, Aiden. And I joined Seacret as a nice plan B. I make my living as a voiceover actor. You may have heard me on some local stuff, Casino Arizona and SRP. And then I do a lot of national commercials. I do GoDaddy and Icy Hot. And currently I have a big campaign with Bear Aspirin. And so, I always thought to myself, what happens if, God forbid, something happens to my voice? Well, I wanted a plan B. Well, I was fortunate to get a chance to try the Seacret products and fell in love with them and signed up on the spot. Didn't even look at the comp plan. Been around for a while. If you've been to the conventions, you may have heard me. I'm the voice of Seacret. I'm the one that does all the live announcing. And I'm real excited to meet each and every one of you. We're growing a little team out here in the East Valley, and I do come out to the different events in Arizona. Dustin is truly a servant leader, and we're very fortunate to have him. If you don't know Dustin's background, he's a $1 million earner in another network marketing company. He's a very successful businessman with other businesses other than Seacret. He recently has walked away from one of his businesses, which was a pizza franchise, and he is doing Seacret on a very full-time basis and is really committed to our success. So I want to welcome you to a Sunday afternoon with Dustin, and this is his Cornerstones training, and this is a training that he has been offering to other network marketing companies for a very high price tag, and he's offering it to us as Seacret agents as a way to give back to the community. So without further ado, I present to you Dustin Mitchell.
Great, Rob. Thanks very much. Once again, we're using GoToWebinar, so sometimes depending on your internet connection and the lag speed and how many people we have on, it might be a little slow. So just sort of stick with it. Eventually, the slides will kick up. This is the first of the 4 cornerstones, which I actually teach, and this one's going to focus on attitude and knowledge, which is an extremely important part in building your Seacret business. And I've adjusted the slides. Whereas normally they would fit any general networking company. I've adjusted the slides the best I can so that they will suit Seacret. Let's see. Let's go back. So this is you should see on your screen my brief disclaimer, and more or less what this when the income levels that I'm going to talk about in the presentation are really for illustration purposes only. They are in no means meant to represent the typical earnings of a Seacret agent, nor are they to represent the income that you will receive as an agent. The success of your business is going to depend completely on the amount of hard work and dedication and talent and time that you devote to your business and your willingness to follow a proven business model. Statistically, across the industry, because I have given the Cornerstones trainings to a lot of companies, but individuals who implement my 4 cornerstones are 6 times more likely to earn an income of at least $40,000 or more from their business on a part-time basis than those who have not implemented the training. So I applaud you for at least taking time out of your Sunday afternoon to go through this first part. And you don't need to make a lot of big mistakes in network marketing in order to fail. A lot of small mistakes are enough, and not investing in training is one of those mistakes. So I'm definitely grateful that you're taking time to view this presentation with us and to be here. So the Cornerstones training system, I developed it on 4 basic parts. And the one we're going to talk about today is attitude and knowledge. But we're going to talk about developing the right mindset, how your attitude is going to determine your altitude and where you go in the business, learning the principles of the business, the basics, learning the benefits of the products, programming your brain, training, conference calls, webinars, the importance of those, reading and audio tapes, and developing goal statements and dream boards. And the second part of a Cornerstone training, which we're going to do in 2 days, is actually going to focus on goal setting and outline in developing an action plan for you to achieve your goals. But, a lot of when we start in the business, everyone gets excited. Almost everyone starts and they're excited and they think they're going to make so much money. And then, within 2 or 3 weeks, somebody rains on their parade and tells them that they're not going to be successful, or they schedule a spa party and nobody comes, or they talk to two or three people and the people say they're not interested in the product, and then they give up on themselves. And that has to do with your attitude. You know, if we look at any successful entrepreneur, everyone has gone through parts in their life, businesses. They've lost businesses. In 2007, I bought a cabinet manufacturing company, and in 2008, it had been a business. That company had been in business for 30 years, but the man who purchased it before me, a year prior, had taken that company union, and then he lost. He was going through a divorce, and he lost money and whatnot. And so I saw an opportunity to be able to capitalize on a 30-year-old company that was making several million a year. But because he took a union, and because I thought I was this big business guru and that I knew all kinds of stuff about business just because I had been successful in one industry, I was really naive, and I lost almost $800,000 in that business and had to close it in 2008. But I didn't take that loss as something that to keep me down. I didn't go out and decide that I'm going to kill myself or I'm never going to do business again. I decided to pick up my teeth and continue to move on, and that is going to be a really defining point that you're going to see in successful people, regardless of what industry they're in. Everyone is going to come into contact with defeat. Everyone is going to fail at some point. Failure is part of success. But if every time somebody tells you no, you get discouraged and you decide just because that person told you no that you're going to quit, then you need to start training your brain and reconditioning the way that you think. Seacret offers you business support materials and training, everything that you need to get started, from the wow party, retail order forms, the blueprint for success, which you should complete within your first week in the business, really, to outline your goals. There's a CD from Jim Rohn, and I'm also going to suggest a couple of other audio CDs for you to get. And, we give you the basic literature through the Seacret training kit that you get sent to be successful. But also in your back office, there are training videos to outline everything that you need to do, everything that you need to learn about the products, everything you need to know in order to present the business opportunity. But out of all those trainings and out of everything that we provide, we really don't give you anything that helps condition you for when people tell you no. We don't give you anything to condition you for when people reject you. Because we'll say, because when people tell you no, that's rejection, and nobody likes to be told no. Nobody likes to be rejected. And I want you all, after you come out of this training, to realize that when people are telling you no, a lot of times they're not saying no to you. They're saying that the timing isn't right, or that maybe they just don't have the money at this point. Or a lot of times they're just asking you for a reason to say yes. So I never look at no as a personal rejection. I look at it as not right now. Somebody's telling me not right now, that their timing's not right now, and that it may change in the future. Napoleon Hill, he's a writer. He's since deceased. But he said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. I definitely believe in that. I don't know how many of you have watched the documentary The Seacret or read the book by Rhonda Byrne, but I highly suggest that you get it. I have copies if you would like for me to send them to you as far as digital form. And, I'm going to tell you, the first time I watched The Seacret and thought about the whole principle of the or the law of attraction, more or less what you think about, you bring about into your life. I turned it off halfway through, and I thought it was a bunch of crap. And then I lost that $800,000 in that company. And just out of curiosity, I decided to watch it again one day, and stuff started to click, and I realized that what I do think about, I really do manifest in my life. So if you're thinking about being in debt, and all you can think about is being in debt, have you noticed that the only thing that seems to show up in your life is more debt? But if you alter the way you think and you think about wealth, and you think about money, and if, yeah, maybe you have a bill, but if you change the way that you think from that bill to how am I going to create the wealth or the income stream to be able to pay for this, then you're beginning to change your mindset. You're beginning to change the way you believe, and you are beginning to reprogram your brain. And that is an extremely, important part of developing the right attitude to be successful in this business. If you don't have the right attitude, you're not going to be successful. And a negative attitude is contagious, just as a positive attitude is contagious. So we want to make sure that you have the right attitude. The difference in between success and failure in this business is extremely, extremely simple. It's very simple. The individual who succeeds simply does what the individual who failed did not or was not willing to do. Let you reread that. You might want to write it down, because I remind myself of this on a daily basis. And this goes for any industry. But people who succeed are willing to do what the people who failed would not do or did not do. It's not that they couldn't do it, it's that they did not or they would not. So if you want to be successful in this business model, you need to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up and overcome in order to achieve whatever level of success it is that you desire? And the majority of the people that I see on the dashboard are they're not looking for an extra couple $100 a week. The majority are looking to be six-figure earners. So you need to ask yourself right now, before we even continue the rest of the presentation, what are you willing to give up in order to be able to succeed in this business? I gave up a lot of things when I was 18 years old in order to be successful in my previous company. I didn't do anything that most 18-year-olds did. But you know what? As a result, in my mid-20s, I was able to do things that most 20-year-olds can't do. And right now, I don't know what age you are in life, but ask yourself, are you willing to do now what most people your age are not willing to do, so that later in life you can do what most people your age at that point will not be able to do. So it's all a matter of perspective. Your attitude is always going to precede your success. Is going to be a direct reflection of your success in the business. If you are negative, if you're a Debbie Downer, expect poor results. Attitude comes before the money, period. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And it's a matter of your confidence level. If people ask you, well, how much money are you making in the business right now? Well, it's not a matter of how much money I'm making right now. What it's a matter of is how much I'm going to be making and whether or not you want to be a part of it. DJ McCurdy is on the webinar with me right now. He's one of our new agents. He's been in the business for less than a week, and he has absolutely blown me away as far as agents. We had his first party last night. It was a great success. We enrolled 2 additional agents. He has 2 other individuals that are interested in becoming agents, and he's enrolling preferred customers. And it's because he's not afraid to talk to people about the business. His confidence level is such that he knows what he wants. He's sick and tired of being sick and tired, and he wants to achieve financial independence. So a lot of times, especially, you hear people talk about it with drug addicts and whatnot. You're never going to recover until you hit rock bottom. Well, I guess maybe you can say that financially also. You're never going to really desire to achieve and do what's required until you hit rock bottom. But that's not always the case. What it really requires is for you to look at your dreams and realize that they're achievable if we turn those dreams into goals, and if we actually set an action plan to develop those goals. Most people are taught from a very early age everything they need in life in order to fail. It generally starts about kindergarten. You're taught to stand in line. You're taught to not talk out of turn. You're taught to hold hands. You're taught to do as you're told and to be a conformist. And, especially the older generations, parents are like, go to school so you can get a good job, so you can go to work with a good company and work for 45 years and retire with a good pension. Well, those days are over. Company pensions are over. They're not providing them anymore. They are outsourcing. The days of working for a company for 45, 55 years of your life and retiring financially secure, they're over. People need a better way. And most people, especially if you're in the we'll say early 20s to the 40 bracket, they don't have any options at all. People, when Social Security was instituted, people started trying to treat it like it was a retirement fund, and it was never meant like that. And I actually did a 2.5 hour long recording with Robert Kiyosaki on the conspiracy of the rich right before that book came out, and we talked about how America is heading for not just an economic uh, recession, but an actual depression that is going to be 10 times worse than the one that was experienced the first time, because people have become complacent, they become lazy, and they expect something for nothing. They expect people to build everything for them. I posted something on my Facebook page the other day, and it said, it was really simple. It says, if the government gives something to you, you need to realize that it was taken from somebody else. Well, to me, that's robbing from the rich to give to the poor. And the last time I looked, robbing was illegal. But if you're planning on relying on the government to take care of you in your retirement years, like I said in a webinar last night or 2 days ago, you probably believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. Those things are not going to happen. You need to take time and start developing your own attitude and start minding your own business. Your business being your Seacret direct business, so that we can get you where you want to go. The power of belief is contagious. You must program your brain. It's been said that the human brain is equivalent to if you were to fill the former World Trade Centers with computers. That's his computing ability. That's his ability and processing ability. So we start with your belief, and a lot of people. I definitely know Rob has belief, but that turns into your attitude. The way you believe about the business, what you believe about the business, is going to determine your attitude and how you act. Do you believe that Seacret is a viable business opportunity? Do you believe in our products? Do you believe in our business model? Do you believe that you can be successful with us? Or are you just hoping, like so many people that get in line, on a weekly basis for the lottery, buying lottery tickets, hoping that that's going to be their retirement fund? You need to develop the belief. And the belief is going to build in you as you associate with individuals who also believe in this business system. You get that through our weekly conference calls, our National Vision call on Sunday nights. And we're starting our fast track team tomorrow, actually. And every Sunday before our National Vision call, we'll have conference calls. You get the belief by associating with people in the business and who also believe in you. That's going to develop your attitude. Your attitude is going to directly reflect your actions and how you respond to people, how you talk to people. When people tell you no, you're not going to go and pout for an hour or two in your house, or call me and tell me that you hate my guts and that this is a pyramid scheme and that you never want to talk to me again. You're going to realize that it just wasn't right for that person. Your actions are going to determine your results and how far you go in this business. Belief, attitudes, actions, results. That's our formula. So this first webinar is about developing belief. I mean, just out of show of your hands, raise your hands for me on the screen if you believe that Seacret. Let's start. Well, I'm going to ask a couple questions, actually. Do you believe in the Seacret products? Do you know that the Seacret products work? Raise your hand. And I can also tell if you're paying attention by whether or not you're raising your hand. And if you're not paying attention, I will kick you off the webinar because I don't want to waste your time or my bandwidth. So do you believe that the Seacret products work? And if you don't believe they work, is it because you haven't tried them and you need to try them? All right. Everyone except for 2 people have responded. Okay, I'm going to lower all of your hands. Now, do you believe that Seacret provides a viable, secure, financially stable business opportunity for you to achieve whatever it is you want to do financially, whether it be $100 a week or $25,000 a week. Raise your hand. Okay. Those of you who haven't raised your hand need to directly work with your sponsor and the people that introduce you to this business to help you develop the belief system that's required in order for you to do that. If you don't believe those things, it's either because you're new or because you haven't seen it or because you haven't associated with enough people. Now, here's my third question. Do you believe that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to? Okay. I'm going to take a brief pause for just a second. I'm going to message the people who aren't paying attention to just ask why they're not paying attention, because I'm not going to call them out on audio. But before I kick them off, I want to give them an opportunity to make sure that their system's working. So give me just 1 second, okay? All right, I'm back. I just want to give everyone an opportunity. These trainings, it takes time out of my schedule, and there's no reason for people to be on them if they're not going to pay attention, because it's a complete waste of their time as well. So, and that goes back to the attitude that I have in this business, that this is $1 million business. I treat it like $1 million business, and it's not a hobby. So, if you were to invest $1 million in your business, in the business that you own, I guarantee you, if they told you that you needed to be on a webinar paying attention, that you would be on that webinar paying attention. I can see screen activity. I can see how long you've been inactive. I can see whether or not you're paying attention. So for those of you who think you can just log on and go and do other shit around your house, you're wrong. I can see everything, and I know exactly who I'll be working with in the organization and in the team to help them achieve their 6-figure and 7-figure a year goals versus the people who aren't, based on who's paying attention and who's not. That's my belief. That's my attitude. Those are my actions. And that's how I'm going to get results and help you achieve money. Let's go into our next slide. One person with belief is equal to a force of 99 people that have only interest, that are only interested in the business opportunity. And it's a performance mind loop. It starts with your mindset that goes into your attitude. Your attitude directly affects your behavior, your actions. Your actions produce results, and that's performance. And then you just go right back into it. Zig Ziglar said, motivation isn't something that you should just do every once in a while. Something that we should do daily. It's like bathing. Because just if you motivate yourself, if you a couple times a month, um, you're not going to get near the benefit as if you were to bathe on a daily basis. So we recommend that you get motivation on a daily basis so that you're programming your brain to be able to. It's business. It's business warfare, so that you know what to say, when to say it. You can never say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So it's just a matter of mindset. I absolutely love this quote by Jacqueline. You must unlearn what you have been programmed to believe since birth. That software no longer serves you if you want to live in a world where all things are possible. And I completely believe in that. So many people are taught that even from family members, that they're not going to achieve anything unless they do certain activities in life, unless they go to college. The highest earner in Amway, his name is Dexter Yeager. It's Dex and Bertie Yeager, and they're actually friends of mine. Amway is now Quickstar. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you are not. He's actually a friend of mine, and I've been at his new home in Florida. And in order to earn money in Amway, you have to be pretty exceptional, and especially to be the highest earner. The man has a lake in his living room. And I'm not talking about like a little fountain or something along those lines. The man has an actual lake in his living room that he can fish in. And I asked him one time, not how much money he made from Amway, but I asked him um, how many people he had to talk to in order to get to the income level that he was at. And he told me that he had to personally sponsor 10,000 people. 10,000. That's not show the plan to 10,000. He had to personally sponsor 10,000 people. Out of those 10,000 people, 1,000 of them stayed. Out of those 1,000 people, excuse me, he had to show the plan to 10,000 people. I'm sorry. He had to personally sponsor 1,000 people. Out of those 1,000 people, 100 of them stayed. And out of those 100 people, 10 made him the multi millionaire that he is today. It takes a lot of money to build a lake in your living room. So, what are you willing to do or overcome in order to achieve what it is that you want? Now, that's in a multi level marketing business model, and I'm going to discuss that in a few minutes. But obviously, if you could achieve whatever, or would you be willing to show the business model to 10,000 people to sponsor 1,000 to have 10 people to make you a multi millionaire? In our business model, you don't have to do that. But would you be willing to? Are you willing to do what it takes? Do you have the attitude, and do you believe in this system enough? Do you believe in your dreams enough? And is your reason why you're doing this business important enough that you're willing to give up whatever it takes in order to be successful? Everyone has a different reason why they do this business. Everyone's goals change. My goal is that, you can't make fun of me for this. If you do, I'll probably kick you at some point. But, I want to be a husband and a father. And to me, that will not mean that I will go away to a job and miss soccer games, miss the development years of my children's life. I will be there full time, and I want to be able to provide them a very nice lifestyle in doing so. And I also, by the time I'm 40, I'm 33 now, want to be at a position where I can give away 80% of my income to charity. That's my personal goal. That's my reason why. For some people, for a lot of people who have kids, kids almost always become their reason why. But what are you going to leave to your children? It's not about what you can buy your children. I don't believe in spoiling kids by any means. But what sort of legacy are you going to leave? People try to count on inheritance as a form of financial security or retirement. But, with a baby boomer retiring every 5 seconds, I don't think you should probably plan on retirement, any sort of inheritance, especially when you have people who are on Social Security and in their 80s and 90s that have to work jobs at McDonald's and Walgreens and Walmart because they can't afford to live otherwise. So the time is now for you to act and start building your belief system and realize that everything that you've been told since birth, for a majority of it, has been bullshit. Period. It's a mindset that was programmed to those people, and look at where they're at. Do you want to and ask yourself? It's just look around you when you go out. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be a cashier at Walmart when you're 60 or 70 years old, or do you want to be on a beach somewhere? It's all a matter of you. It's all up to you. You can have anything you want if you're willing to give up the belief that you can't have it. You can have anything you want if you are willing to give up that belief system that you can't have it. And to accomplish great things, you must not only act, but you must also dream, not only plan, but also believe. Dreams, goals are dreams with deadlines. I don't care how big you dream. We can help you get there. But we put a deadline on it. When we take a dream and we commit it to paper and we commit an act and develop an action plan, we're developing a way to get there. We're developing a roadmap to get there. And, sometimes you have to adjust roadmaps. Sometimes you have to adjust plans because things happen. I realize it's part of life. But you don't just need a plan. You also need to believe that if you follow that system, if you follow your blueprint, that you're going to achieve the end results. When construction companies start off to build buildings and they have a blueprint in front of them that an architect designed, They might be able to see a sketch, but they have to have the belief that if they follow that blueprint, that it's going to turn into this colossal building or structure. They don't question the blueprint. They don't question the architect because clearly the architect is experienced and knows what they're doing, just like your mentor in this business is experienced and knows what they're doing. They just believe that if they follow the plan, that they're going to achieve the end result. And the same thing goes in this in your secret business model. I'm here to help you. Your secret sponsors are here to help you. If you're new in the business and your sponsor's new in the business, that's fine. We have upline leadership that is always available to help teach you, coach you, guide you, direct you, and get you to where you need to be. And that goes into being mentored. You need to listen to conference calls, listen to recorded audio calls, videos, webinars, and training materials on a daily basis. I record almost every conference call and I make them available. Just because you've listened to it once doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to it again. I still go back and listen to conference calls from the company that I was with prior because I pick up material and information that I can apply to my secret business today. I listen to materials and recalls from people who aren't even associated with Seacret. Robert Kiyosaki is a friend of mine. He has 2 audios that I highly suggest. If you're on my fast track team, I require that you have one of them, and that's the perfect business. But he also has the business of the 21st century, where he talks about how network marketing is the most lucrative and as far as achievable business model for the average American. How it's network marketing. So you need to listen to these calls, recorded calls, training materials, and over time you're going to pick things up. You're going to remember some verbiage. That information is going to come back to you when you're talking to prospects or to customers, and you're going to remember those things, and you can use those in your dialogue. Originality is concealing your source, more or less. So if I say something and it would work on a particular individual that you're talking to, take it. That's duplication, and that's how we build in this business. We implement a weekly accountability system. If you're part of my fast track team, that's automatically required, but you don't have to be part of the fast track team to make sure that you are being held accountable for your actions and your action plan to your sponsor and to your mentor. So if you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it, because at the end of the week, you need to contact your sponsor and let them know everything that you achieved. We have scheduled weekly calls with your sponsor, with your mentor. I talk to my sponsor on a daily basis. I talk to Rob on a daily basis, and he's not even my sponsor. I talk to people that I bring into the company because I want to make sure that they're being taken care of, that they don't have questions, that they know that I am there for them if they need me. And they can call me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They can text me, whatever. Participate in conference calls in 3 ways. Make sure you're on our National Vision call. Guys, I realize that sometimes the National Vision call is kind of boring. It's different people, different attitudes, coming from different areas of the country. But, we talk about recognition, and you never know when they might say something that will be beneficial to you. So it's important for you to be on those and to participate in those. Your mentor will help you work through your blueprint for success. As when they sponsor you and help you go and develop your action plan, you need to attend leadership trainings, wow parties, etc. Cross-pollinate. Just because somebody in your organization or in your team or in your area is holding a wow party, don't think that's just for their customers. We work together in our company. Just like individuals in my team. If somebody's hosting a wow party and somebody else's customers available to come to that, send them to that. Just like the same thing, if they are hosting a wow party and one of your customers is available to attend that training, you send them to that. We work together as a team rather than independently, which makes us so much different than other companies. And you need to associate with positive, successful people. If you have negative people in your life, that is probably one of the worst things that you can do right now in your business. You need to, I'm not saying never talk to them again, but you need to limit the amount of time that you are around them, that you associate with them, because negativity will breed more negativity. Mediocrity breeds contempt, and misery loves company. So if you're around people that are miserable, that hate their job, that hate their life, and they're not interested in working with you and achieving more in their life, then all they're going to do is drag you down. You need to find new friends, new mentors, new people to be around, new groups, people who will help lift you up and help you achieve what you want. Remote coach. This is something that I provide. We The digital player doesn't come from Colby anymore, but if you're part of the Four Cornerstones training and in the fast track, you can get the digital audio and downloads. It comes with, you automatically download all the videos from the company. It comes preloaded, and then pre-recorded conference calls, etc. But then you can download conference calls, other audios on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever, PDF training materials, and listen to these things while you're at the gym. Listen to these things while you're in the car. Instead of listening to the radio and listening to music, listen to something that's going to uplift you and teach you about the business. When I was working towards, I was the first member of the Young Millionaires Club in my first company. So when I was doing that, I was 18 years old. Trust me, my first car was a 1996 Mustang convertible GT. I wanted to be driving down the road in Washington State with the top down blasting music, but I didn't. I was listening to conference calls. Well, back then we had them on tapes, so I had tapes playing, telling me how to achieve the business, how to work the business, giving me different methodologies, etc. And as the company grows, we'll have more and more of these. But these tools allow you to stay on track, and your team needs to listen to them as well. And then you can talk to them about your team in three ways. Well, what did you take from this phone call? What did you learn from this? And as we discuss those things, everybody's growing, everybody's staying on track. And you know, that's where you use a lot of your free time. Instead of watching Family Guy, listen to an audio, watch a webinar, watch one of the recorded videos, get a presentation, or watch The Seacret. That's like an hour and a half long. I watch The Seacret still to this day at least once a week. And I try to listen to the audio version of it at least 3 or 4 times a week. And I have the thing memorized, but I still do it because it helps me stay in the right mindset and right attitude. Attend trainings and events. This is required for success, period. If you're going to be on our fast track team, this is a requirement. I will soon, after this next 90-day fast track, require it for anyone that I sponsor. But you have to go to the corporate events. We have 2 a year. The next one, October 24th and 26th in Glendale, Arizona. It's the Seacret Revolution International Convention. This is where you recharge your batteries. This is where you're associated not with just positive people, but the top income earners in the company, with the corporate team, where we make announcements about new product developments, about additions in the compensation structure. This is, if you think about it, you know, over a 6-month period of time, your battery is going to get drained. And at these events, when you leave, you're charged, you're on fire, you're ready to build, you're going to go out and build a business regardless of whether or not everyone on your team quits. You know, there's some corporate resources that you have. You can go to events.secretdirect.com and look at corporate events. Also, team events are listed for my team, at least, at cornerstonestrainings.com. You can look at the calendar there. Downlinetrainings.com has a list of upcoming webinars that are available for you to attend and to invite guests to, because you don't just have to attend these, like our secret business briefings, invite guests to attend those. And also www.seacret.international, which isn't active yet, but it will be in about a week. So moving on, still developing attitude and knowledge. You need to treat this business like it is a business, not like it is a hobby. You know, if you wanted to buy a McDonald's, you need to have a net worth of about $1 million, $1.5 million, and you're going to invest somewhere around $2 million in the business. So we'll say $3.5 million. I don't know how many of you have $3.5 million that are on this webinar, but if you do, and you want to invest in a McDonald's, you're going to make about $150,000 a year minimum per restaurant. Here's the problem. Most people don't have $100,000 to invest. Most people don't have $40,000 to invest. But you need to, you know, as a secret agent, your investment was $49, which gave you a completely e-commerce capable website and training materials that cost us over $49 to produce. And you need to get product. You need to get product to be able to show wow parties, to be able to do demonstrations. Because if you notice, a lot of people who become agents were first customers, or they were introduced at a wow party, or they tried the product and then they became amazed by the product, and then they knew that they could sell it because it was just, I mean, it sells itself. So don't treat this business like a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, expect those results. Treat it like it is a multi-million-dollar business, and I swear you will make $1,000,000. Don't let life get in the way of your business. I realize that things happen, and that's where you rely on your upline and your mentors and your team to help you. A funeral might happen, and life happens, but just because somebody tells you no, or because you get a little depressed, don't let that crap get in the way of your business. You need to be consistent, and you need to be persistent in your actions. Don't work really hard for 1 week and not do anything for 3 weeks. You need to be consistent in your actions, and don't let other people live their life for you. Everyone's heard the whole adage of, if all your friends jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, would you jump off? Well, you know what? From the looks of it, a lot of people would. Don't let other people live your life for you. What do they know about what you're doing? Nothing. Unless they're a secret agent and they're making money, they have nothing of importance that they can teach you. They might say, oh, I've been involved in one of those companies and they never work, or, that's one of those pyramid schemes, or, those are illegal, or, yeah, my aunt did one of those and she wasn't successful and she lost a whole bunch of money. Okay, what does that have to do with you and your business? Absolutely nothing. And you can ask them that and say, well, how credible is the source that you're telling me? What exactly do you mean by pyramid scheme? Do you mean where a whole bunch of people at the top make money and everyone at the bottom makes nothing? Because I can tell you that Seacret is definitely not one of those. In fact, you could make more money than me. The top earners in the company make more money than the individual that sponsored them. So what you're talking about is a Ponzi scheme, and by all means, those are illegal. Bernie Madoff is in prison for one of those, but our business model, no, it's not. It's completely legal. And if you would like to find out more information about it, I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and show you, or to put you in contact with my upline leadership. Otherwise, shut your mouth because you don't know what you're talking about. Goes right back to your attitude. The confidence that you exude in your business is contagious. Don't let other people live your life for you. It's your life. And don't get stuck on the dot. I don't have an illustration for this, but if you were to take a piece of cardboard or paper or whatever, just draw a small dot in the middle of the paper. And outside of the dot, write your goals, right? A new car, to be debt free, to pay off credit cards, college fund, whatever your goal might be. And you hold it away from your face. You can see all those goals. You also see the dot, but you see all those goals. And the dot, we're going to say, is going to represent a problem or some sort of obstacle that you need to overcome. But as you move that piece of paper closer and closer and closer to your face, and if you're focusing on that dot, all of those goals, everything that you have written outside the dot, the financial independence, the getting out of debt, the buying a new car, the paying off the credit cards, the developing financial stability in a retirement fund, you get to a point where you can't even see them anymore because the dot is so close in front of your face, and your eyes are so focused on it that you've been caught up and you have forgotten about all of your goals, all of your visions, all of your dreams. Don't get focused on the little crap. Keep in mind why you're doing this business and what your goals are, and you will achieve them. You have the power today to change tomorrow. And the best way to predict your future is to create it. I love that saying. The best way to predict your future is to create it. And it's completely true. You do today. You have the power today, regardless of how long you've been in this business, regardless of what you have accomplished so far in this business, regardless of what you've done with your life. You have the power right now, after this webinar, at this point, to make the decision to make Seacret happen for you, to make this financial opportunity real and not just for you, but to help other people achieve it as well. So today, the decision that you are making is going to change tomorrow, and whatever you decide is ultimately going to be your legacy. You know, um, I kind of can get I can be a little bit eccentric and a little bit weird sometimes. And I took a group of distributors one time through a cemetery, and they had no idea why we were there, and I wouldn't tell them why we were there. And then I started running around to headstones, and I was yelling at the headstones, extremely, extremely excited, and telling them to get up, get up. You know, I have something exciting to tell them. And you know what? Nobody got up. It was so weird. And then, everyone's looking at me, and I sort of look back at it, and I'm like, don't wait until you're dead to make life happen for you. On your headstone, you're going to see a couple of things inscribed. You're obviously going to see your name, you're going to see your date of birth, and you're going to see the date that you died. But in between those two numbers is going to be a dash. What you do with your dash is your legacy. What you do with your dash, you're accomplishing right now. You're making those decisions right now. What do you want people to remember about your dash? Do you all, by show of hands, how many of you want to be remembered as the individual who worked their entire life until the day they died, not able to leave anything to their children, or to help anyone because they were so busy trying to make ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck, that they weren't they're not remembered? How many, by show of hands, want that? That's what I thought. Now, how many by show of hands want to be remembered as an individual who not only accomplished amazing things with their life and was able to leave a legacy behind for their children, but was also able to help other people achieve success and do those exact same things? I hope I see everyone's hand raised on this. I'm wondering if I'm starting to bore you. Okay. So I'm going to take another quick break. I'm going to message some people. And this is the last warning I'm going to give. If you're not going to participate in the webinar, I'm going to kick you off. So give me just 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm going to go ahead and lower all of your hands. We're going to try this one more time. Like I said, I'm extremely passionate about this business. I'm extremely passionate about helping all of you succeed. But like I said, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time if this isn't something that you want to achieve. So, you need to put things in perspective. Ask yourself, how else are you going to earn a significant income or achieve your goals in the time of financial freedom that you desire? How else are you going to do it? What is your plan? So many people start off life with high hopes in their 20s, and dreams and ambitions, and things happen. They get married, they have kids, they get a job, and they get stuck into a rut. And think about it like if you have a dog and there's a fence line, and how your dog will sometimes run the fence line, and over time it kills the grass, and then it starts to develop a rut around the fence line. And people do the exact same thing in their life. They start off with high hopes, but life gets in the way. They allow life to get in the way, and they start digging themselves into a rut. They go from work to home, work to home, work to home, work to home. On the weekends, they're so tired and exhausted that they sit and they do nothing for 2 days, and then they go work to home. And over time, they have developed themselves and dug themselves into such a deep rut that you might as well throw dirt in on top of them, because they're dead. They have very few options available in order to be able to get out of that rut. They've more or less worked themselves to death, and that is the legacy that they have. So what are your options for earning additional income or more income? You could work more hours at your present job. For a lot of people right now, they want a job, but you could work more hours at your present job. Most employers aren't giving out overtime, though. You could get a second job, taking away from your family, your friends, your hobbies, the things that you love and enjoy. You could go back to school. I always say that's admirable and it's noble, but what are you doing if you're going back to school to get a higher degree? You're going back to school so you can get a higher paid job, so you can be broke at a higher level. My acronym for job is just over broke, because I don't care what you do for a living. If you have a job, if you are trading time for money, you are always a slave to the job. You're always going to be at a point where you're just over broke. If you're a brain surgeon and you develop some sort of palsy or something wrong with your hand, you are out of a job and you are now broke. I know a lot of people who give the appearance of being very, very wealthy. They live in multi-million dollar homes, drive beautiful, beautiful cars, but they're in the exact same situation of the people that are in the poor and the middle class. They're still living paycheck to paycheck because they feel like they need to keep up with the Joneses. But you could go back to school. If you go back to school, I would like to suggest that you do it as an advocation rather than a vocation, meaning that you would do it whether or not you got paid. Go do something, get a degree in something that you would do whether or not you got paid. Develop your secret business so that you have income coming in, and then go and share your skills with the world. You can invest in the stock market or in real estate, but with what money? With most people living paycheck to paycheck, they definitely don't have the money to invest. Or you could start your own business. Starting your own business. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to take care of my dog. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Two Doberman pinchers. You never know exactly what they're going to do. So going back to owning your own business. When we look at statistics, we'll say that one person will represent. We'll talk about 100 people. So we'll say one person would equal 1%. Right now in America, people who retire, so they reach retirement age 65 years oldish, so they've worked 45 years of their life. One out of every 100 people, or 1% of Americans, are able to retire rich. Is the definition, but by a financial definition, it's $97,000 a year in income coming in that they do not have to work for. So it's coming in from real estate, investments, pensions, whatever. They've invested well, and they have about $100,000 a year coming in that they don't have to work for. That makes up the top 1% of Americans. So that's not Bill Gates or Oprah rich, but by any means. But that's the average. 4%, or 4 out of every 100 Americans that reach retirement age, are comfortable. Within reason, as long as they watch their money, they're going to be okay. Here's what's happened. People are living longer and they're outliving their savings. So that group is actually getting smaller. But that makes up the top 5% of Americans. And then we go downhill very fast, very, very fast. The 5% still work either because they have to or because they want to. The majority because they have to, because there's no other way. 28% of Americans, let's see, 26% of Americans, I might have it a little bit off, but I think 26% of Americans are dead. They never reach retirement age. So heart attacks, car accidents, whatever it is, they don't reach the retirement age. And the remaining 68% live on less than $4,400 a year in personal income. They have to rely on government support like Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, or family assistance in order to survive. So what we see is that what everyone's been taught from childhood: go to school, get a good job, work for the same company so that you can retire. It's not working. We see that 95% of Americans have spent the best 45, 55, 60 years of their life working to make the people in the top 5% successful, because the people, 3 out of 4 of the individuals in that top 5% got there by owning their own business. So when we look at options to earn more income, owning your own business seems to be the most viable and the best option. So let's look at those options. Most business options. How much time, how much money, and how much chance are you willing to put into it? How much of those do you have? If you want to start a traditional business, or if you want to purchase a traditional business, excuse me, it's going to be a minimum, generally, of about $100,000 or $500,000. General rule is 5 times the net. So whatever the business is making, you're going to multiply that by 5, and you need to be willing to invest that. You could do your startup business. The average is about $100,000 to capitalize. So some sort of mom and pop operation, maybe some sort of restaurant or clothing store or photography business, whatever it might be. You could purchase a franchise. The average franchise is $147,000. They range generally from about $40,000 upward to $2.1 million, I think, for a Krispy Kreme donut. Or you could become a professional. Go to school, become a professional, doctor, lawyer, CPA. You go to school for 6 to 10 years to get your education. It's going to cost you $100,000, $600,000, somewhere in that range. And then even in that area, you're still trading time for money a lot of times. And so you're going to have to pay back your education, your student loans, while you're trying to make money, still taking away time from your family and your friends. People working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. So, these are the traditional business options. This is what people look. These are what people look at when they look at that. So, how much time, how much money, and how much chance are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up the security of your present job to go out and start your own business? Are you willing to invest $500,000 in purchasing a business and be willing to lose that? In my case, $800,000. I'm going to talk for a second about linear versus ongoing residual income. And this comes from Robert Kiyosaki's The Cash Flow Quadrant. His first book is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I suggest that you read it if you have not. And then after you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, read The Cash Flow Quadrant. But there are generally 4 groups of people or 4 income areas. And some people earn income from various, from separate quadrants. But it's divided into 2 sides, left side, right side. People on the left side, generally self-employed and employees. They have active and linear income. So these individuals trade time for money. Their money grows linearly. If work stops, their income stops. So if people are self-employed, let's say they're a janitor and they don't have any work, they're not making any income. If you're an employee and you're out of a job, you're not making any income. If you could say disabled, you make less income. They're not really creating true wealth. They're trading time for money. And their time isn't their own. Their time belongs to somebody else. So while they might be making a living, they are not creating wealth. They're not creating residual income. Now, people who in the top 5% operate on the right side of the quadrant. Those are business owners and investors. Business owners leverage time, duplicate efforts, and investors invest money into stocks, real estate, etc., and have their money work for them. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be an employee and also a business owner. You can do both. There are people that operate in both quadrants. But if you truly want to achieve wealth and financial success, you need to get to a point where you are operating primarily on the right side of the quadrant and less on the left. I have not operated on the left side of the quadrant since I was 20 years old. But people on the right, you leverage your time, your money grows exponentially. Exponentially meaning if you put in $1 tomorrow, it might be 10. A week from now, it might be 100. It's going to continue to grow. Income continues to grow. You create true wealth. You create true time freedom, because if you're a business owner or you're an investor, you can go and you can sit on a beach for a year. If you're a business owner and you've hired people, or let's say for your secret business and you developed your secret business and you have leaders that are going to do this with or without you, some of them probably want to make more money than you. You're going to go on vacation for a month and you're going to come back and you're going to find that your business is operating and more successful than it was when you left. Same as investors. People that operate on the right side of the quadrant create a lifestyle rather than making a living. And like I said, get the book Cash Flow Quadrant, which goes in depth into the difference between linear and ongoing residual income. But, it's your decision. Do you want to trade time for money, or do you want to leverage your time? Do you want your money to grow linearly, meaning it comes in your pocket, and as soon as it comes in your pocket, you have to pay it out for bills, or do you want it to grow exponentially? Do you want to continue to earn income regardless of what you're doing, or do you want to trade time for money? Do you want to have your income continue if something happens to where you're not able to work? Let's say if, you have a heart attack, or you break a leg, or for some reason you have to take time off. Do you want to continue to receive paychecks, or do you want to have your income stop? Do you want to create true wealth? I don't like the word rich. I actually really hate the word rich. I like wealth, because wealth is a lifestyle, rich is a number. There's and if you create wealth, you are also creating things that you can leave to your children, things that are willable, transferable, etc. Do you want your time to belong to somebody else? Do you like having to go to a job and trade time for money and have a boss tell you what to do? Or would you like the ability to be able to work when you want, where you want, how you want, and choose the lifestyle that you want? Do you want to make a living and continue living paycheck to paycheck? Or do you want to create a lifestyle and help other people create their own lifestyles and enjoy the success that's involved in that? My joy in building the networking companies and building this business is watching other people succeed. If you see me at a convention and I've worked with you and you've hit a new pin level, a new income level, and you're on stage and you're talking about how it's changed your life, that's I very rarely cry, very, very rarely cry, but almost every single time you're going to see me start to bawl, because I will know that I've had some sort of, at least, what is the word? I've at least in some way helped you get to where you were going. And that's my goal. I'm going to talk about horizontal marketing now, multi-level marketing, or how majority of businesses in America work. Horizontal marketing is an organizational structure that almost every company uses. And with that structure, the economic incentive is not to help other people succeed. Let's look at a traditional job. Let's say you are, we'll say you're a manager, and the next step in order for you to get promoted or make more money is going to be general manager. In horizontal marketing, or this traditional business form in America, the general manager would either have to get promoted, get fired, or get transferred in order for you to have the opportunity to be able to move up in that company, correct? So there's no incentive for that general manager to help you become a general manager, because they're going to lose their job, or they're going to have to move, etc. Examples include real estate agencies, insurance companies, chain stores like Ace Hardware, Schnucks, McDonald's, multi-level marketing companies, direct sales companies like Avon, etc. There's no incentive for them to help you, because in order for them to help you, once you get to a point, especially in multi-level marketing companies, direct sales companies, they lose you. Once you make more money than them, they break away, and then they have to go and build something else. So there's no real security in this marketing system. Marketing organizational structure. This is a traditional insurance company, for instance, or a franchise corporation. You have insurance company, franchise, regional sales managers. You have underneath them agents or brokers, or master franchisers, or district sales managers. Okay. Underneath those individuals, you have sales reps, or local franchisers, or local territory managers. So we have everyone at the top. The insurance company is making money. Agents or brokers aren't going to help you become an agent or broker, because then they're going to stop making money from your efforts. You're all in competition with one another. I don't see the benefit of doing. I mean, it floors me that people believe that this is a system that they can actually achieve success in. Unless you're going to be CEO, and generally, it's a funny joke. I saw a joke on Facebook the other day. So the definition of CEO is the oldest and whitest male individual in a corporation. That's been with the corporation the longest, but it's kind of true. So unless you're willing to completely dedicate your life to kissing ass in the company, you're not going to get extremely far. You're all in competition with one another, and there's absolutely no incentive. Now, there's disadvantages. The disadvantages of horizontal marketing. Additional locations multiply costs. It creates more competition. If you have a McDonald's, if let's say you open a McDonald's franchise, and the company decides that they're going to open another one a mile and a half down the road. Now, because you legally have first right of refusal, they're going to come to you and they're going to say, would you like to purchase this McDonald's franchise? And so you have the option of either coming up with another $2 to $3 million to build another McDonald's, or letting somebody else do it. Either way, you've just had to chunk out another couple $1 million, or you're going to be in competition with another franchisee. But even if you purchase that second McDonald's, do you think that some of your customers that went to that first one are now going to go to the second one? Of course they are. So now both of your businesses, even though you own them, are in competition with one another. Your time and resources are spread thin. There's no cooperation, no collaboration. And in multi-level marketing companies, there's the system to duplicate horizontal marketing. There's no system. It's you recruit your mom, your brother, your uncle. They're all in competition because they're trying to find the same customers. You're spreading your time too thin. Then they get mad. Somebody quits, and you have to find another person. It just does not make sense. Seacret uses a vertical marketing organizational structure, or it's also called binary. So with you have your secret business. You have two sales and distribution organizations, a left side and a right side. So we see Tom, Sue, Chris, Ann, Ben, Robert, Dr. Jones. Those shouldn't say you on the bottom of the page, but we'll just say there are other individuals. So you're going to help Tom and Sue, but everything that Tom and Sue does creates business volume or sales volume, and it flows into your existing business, which you get paid commissions on. Then Tom and Sue find Chris and Ann and Ben, and everything that Chris and Ann and Ben does flows into Tom and Sue's business, and then flows up into your business structure. 100%, no depletion. Then maybe you found Dr. Jones and Sue found Robert, but because we can't build horizontally, Sue has to place Robert underneath Ann and Ben. You have to place Dr. Jones underneath Chris. But everything that Dr. Jones and Robert does flows up and helps Chris and Ann and Ben, helps Tom and Sue, and helps you and strengthens your business. And then you find additional business members, and you continue to grow. You found two additional business members at the bottom, and we're going to place them down there and help them through our ABC pattern to become successful, just like we did Tom, Sue, Chris, Ann and Ben, Robert, and Dr. Jones. And everyone's working together because there's no depletion, there's no percentages, there's no levels, and everyone, as long as everyone's getting paid, is the most powerful business model that's ever been created. Advantages of vertical marketing. Seacret has eliminated the pitfalls of organizational marketing, of horizontal marketing. There's compounding efforts. We encourage teamwork and support. The more agents we work with, the faster everyone makes money. There's no territorial restrictions. When one person succeeds, everyone benefits. There's minimal cost to expand. There's really no cost to expand. You pay $49 per year in our company for your web portal and for the opportunity to participate in this phenomenal business opportunity and make anywhere from $25,000 per week or more. We leverage duplication, and we have standardization. We have trainings. We have required ways of doing things. You can't buy a McDonald's and put up purple arches and sell tacos. They're going to take it away from you. You have to follow our system if you want to succeed. If you want to do it your own way, go find another company and try to do it succeed there. If you want to be successful, follow our system and we can help you. Let's see. Trevor, you had your hand raised. I'm going to lower your hand. If you have a question, raise your hand again, and then I'll unmute you. Okay, I'm going to unmute you. All right, go ahead, Trevor. Are you there, Trevor?
Yeah, I don't have a question. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll mute you again. All right. Okay, so going back to the presentation, everyone receives 100% of the credits from the volume generated. But Seacret pays you out five different ways. I'm not getting into that. That's not the purpose of this training. But every business volume point, it doesn't deplete. So if you had 100 people underneath you, you get credit in your business structure for every single business volume point. It maximizes the profitability of individual success. It creates a common synergy and economic bond that is extremely hard to explain. Let me put it to you like this: within a month in Seacret, I was one of the top agent recruiters, or I was the top agent recruiter, and one of the first people that I brought on board in the business really didn't do much for about a month. And then I had her look at her genealogy, and she realized that I had placed not just one person or two people, but an entire organization underneath her. And that sort of caught her on fire. If you want to catch a house on fire, if you want to burn down a house, you start the fire in the basement, not in the attic. So by building underneath individuals and creating a binary structure in a sales and distribution team, all we're doing is encouraging success from other individuals, and you gain income from others' work, sales volume, and their sales. So this is a traditional horizontal strategy from like multi-level marketing or traditional business. So you see sales managers, sales reps. The sales manager might get 15% commission from the sales reps, then 10%, 5%, 2%, and then to the point where they don't get paid at all. In a multi-level marketing, commissions are actually cut off at 4 to 7 levels. So regardless of how large your organization is, you don't make money after a certain period of time. And then there's breakaways. In vertical marketing or binary marketing, we have you, and then as many people. I don't care. It could be 100, it could be 1,000, it could be 10,000. It doesn't matter. You're going to continue to accrue volume into your sales organizations to where we're paying you up to $25,000 per week. And then with our leadership check match bonus for those individuals that you help, you can earn an additional 20% of whatever they are making on a weekly basis. Trevor, you just raised your hand again. Do you have a question? I'm going to raise your hand if you have a question. Okay. Okay, so you're unmuted now.
No, I don't have a question. It keeps going up. I don't know. It's
Okay.
doing it. I'm not doing it. It just keeps going. So I don't have a question. I'll type it in the thing if I do.
Okay. So, we want you to focus on result-producing activities. And shuffling paperwork around, even though you're actually being active and you're doing something, that's not a result-producing activities. You want to spend your time on selling products, doing wow parties, introducing the products to individuals, selling the business opportunity or showing the business opportunity through webinars, presentations, introducing people to your upline mentors, and selling events or getting people to attend our training events, whether they are listed on the events.secret direct site, the Cornerstone trainings, the national events, etc. Because those events help build belief. And when people attend those events, they get excited. It's not just about excitement. They also meet other people who are successful, and they start to believe in themselves. So 80% of the time that you devote to your business, so for most people it's 10 to 15 hours a week, 80% of that time needs to be spent in either selling products, talking to people about products, showing them at product demonstrations or wow parties, talking to people about the business, the events, or attending events and getting people to training sessions. And 20% of your time should be spent on managing your organization, going into your back office, making phone calls to other team members, seeing it, and you'll learn that as you go and work in your back office how to do that. But 80% of your time needs to be in telling people about the product and about the business opportunity. Oops. Okay, so let's say you were working 12 hours per week. And this is actually a slide that I took from one of my other trainings. But so just ignore the activity level or the pin level. But if you're going to sell the business or talk to the business, prospecting, recruiting, sponsoring, an ABC pattern of building depth, you really want to spend about 6 hours a week of your time, or about 50% of your time, if you do that, talking to people about the business opportunity. About 4 hours of your week should be in retailing product. About an hour a week should be spent in talking to people and getting them to attend events. And about an hour should be spent doing goals. The executive coordinator position, if you want to, let's say that if you're just now starting executive coordinator, let's equate that to a bronze agent. Okay. 8 hours a week should be spent in selling the business opportunity, introducing people to the business. 2 hours in selling product, and then getting other individuals and plugging people into other wow parties. 1% in attending events, webinars, etc., and 1% in reading your goals and going over those. The focus time, quality time on result producing activities. Be persistent, be committed, make it a priority, be consistent, and make it duplicatable. If you do something, expect your organization to do it in excess. So if you sit on your ass, they're definitely going to sit on their ass. But if they see you out working, they're going to work, but they're also going to duplicate in their organization, and they're going to work harder. Okay. If anyone has questions right now, you can raise your hand, and we can sort of go over that because we're nearing the end of the webinar. Okay. So I have a basic formula for growth, and it's really, really simple. It's time, and the Q, the qualifier over time. So it's time, the Q stands for the quality of time. So just because you're putting in time to your business doesn't mean that it's quality time. You need to put quality time into your business, so the 80%. But the quality of your time is going to equal growth. And the exponential part of growth is duplication. So we want to duplicate the time that you're putting in, which is going to equal volume or sales, business volume, which is going to equal money. So the quality of the time that you spent with people that I call go now, or people that are individuals that are going to do this business with you or without you. They're like, get out of my way. Thanks for introducing me. I'm going for this. Hold on 1 second. We have. Okay. Somebody answered another question. So you want to work with individuals, especially if you're doing the fast track with me, people who aren't going to be complacent, who are going to make this business their business, who are going to take the bull by the horns, and who are going to do whatever it takes in order to be able to achieve their goals. If you don't have any go now people in your organization, if you don't have any people in your organization that are willing to be on the fast track, who are willing to make this business happen, then go find some. Don't spend your time trying to revive the dead. It is easier to give birth than it is to revive the dead. Find new people. Eventually, I'm not saying don't help the people who are stable or waiting, but if you want massive growth, you need to work with people who are going to duplicate your actions and who are ready to build fast now. This business is a lot more fun built fast than it is slow. And it builds a lot more belief the faster that you build a business. So if you don't have people that are ready to do the business now, go out and find people that are ready, who are ready to make this happen. And I guarantee you that people that are stable or waiting, at some point, they're going to look and they're going to see what's happening underneath them, and they're going to become go now. You never know when an individual's timing is ready. Okay? Attitude and knowledge. Feed your minds every day by reading and listening to audio materials. Re-listen to audio recordings and conference calls. Get on new ones. I'm developing a database for other calls. literature. I will suggest books for you to read, but make sure that you're feeding your mind. Treat this like a business, not like it's a hobby. Attend events to continue to educate yourself, to build belief in yourself, and to build belief in your business. You need to plan to see and show the business plan a minimum of once a week, a minimum. Okay. And you need to be coachable. Those of us who are in your upline leadership, those of us who are your mentors, we're not your bosses. We realize that this is a volunteer army. I can't tell you what to do. I can only make suggestions. Now, generally, I'll say that my suggestions are subtle commandments, if you want to be successful in the business at least, but you don't have to do them. Nothing that I tell you to do is a requirement, but, success isn't a requirement either. Why did it go back? So, attitude is going to impact your outcome. You go from I won't to I can't to I don't know how to I wish I could to I want to I think I might to I think I might to I think I can to I will to I did. It's a slope, and people will start off with I can't or I don't know how, and some of you may be at that point right now where I don't know how, or I wish I could, or I want to, or I think I might be able to, but work with us to get you to the point where you are saying I can, and then I will make the commitment to do the fast track. I will make the commitment to talk to these people. I will make the commitment to have 2 wow parties on a monthly basis. I will talk to people about my business on a daily basis. And then you're going to get to the point where you're going to be on stage and you're going to be saying, I did do these things. This is what I did. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do if you want to be successful, because I used to be just like you, but I changed the way I was thinking. I changed my attitudes. I changed my behavior. I adjusted. I measured, monitored, adjusted, and controlled the way my business was working. And now I'm earning X amount of dollars. Now I'm a platinum agent. Now I am a Crown Royal agent, whatever you want to be. Retail to recruit and recruit to retail. We had a wow party last night that DJ actually introduced one of his new business partners to the products first. When I first met her, she was definitely not interested in the business model. And at the end of the presentation, after she had tried the products, after we went through the wow party, she said, you know what, the products are amazing. I'm going to be a customer anyway, but yeah, I can find customers. It makes sense for me to become an agent. And, she came on board as an agent. So we retail products. We expose people to products so that we can recruit. Because in general, about 80% of the people who become agents will be a customer first, and we recruit to retail. ABC pattern gives you control. ABC pattern is a different part of the Cornerstone that I'll go more in depth on, but it gives you control over your success, growth, programming, and timing. We're all going to work together as a team, and it takes the chance out of success. Completely takes a chance out of success. I say that I turn people into being hopeless successes, because regardless of what you do, if you follow the system, there's no possible way that you're going to fail. You just have to be willing to follow the system. Working combinations. We want to be able to. Let's go back. Where'd it go? Where's my mouse? Up. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to show the screen. Working combinations. You can work multiple organizations at more than one time. Plug people into other events. For instance, if you're in Phoenix, but you have people in St. Louis that are interested in the business, plug them into our organization. We're going to take care of them just like they're our own, because in our organizational structure, that we all get paid. It's just an added benefit. I'm almost at that last slide. There we go. You don't have to be smart to do this business either, clearly. So working combinations, work multiple legs per night in the same geographic area. Just because one person is having a wow party doesn't mean that only that person's customers and only people in that leg can go to that wow party. recruit, train, retain, all at the same time. It builds momentum when we're working together. It builds excitement, and we just continue to grow. Why is my computer being retarded? Okay, so well, there's one last slide, but I'm not even going to go on to that part. So, guys, that's the end of the Cornerstones training for the Seacret part. I will add some more for the next one, but this is just what I had because I had to adapt it for Seacret. Questions, comments, concerns. This would be the time for us to go over them. So raise your hand if you have questions about anything that we went over. Okay, raise your hand if you actually took something out of this webinar that you're going to use in your business. Okay, great. So, I highly suggest those of you who aren't on the fast track. Like I said, we start Monday. That you get information from that. You can contact me. My phone number is 314-809-2983. You can message me on here also, and I can send it to you, or send it to me on Facebook. Downlinetrainings.com has we have another webinar in 2 days, which is going to focus on goal setting and building your action plan to achieve your results. So there will be a lot of participation involved in that because everyone has different goals, but we'll sort of outline, if wherever you're at, based on where you're at, what you need to do in order on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis in order to accomplish your goal. Because I guarantee you, if we do the daily activities, you're automatically going to reach the weekly, you're automatically going to reach the monthly, and you're going to achieve your goal. So